coronavirus pandemic has inspired artists to join the global call for people to take their hygiene and social distancing seriously. We'll see that on our social media platforms. But for other artists,
No! No, 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 no!
they're telling stories using an original form of improvisational theater. To this artist, we're celebrating a veteran. We have that and more on today's episode of Art House. A warm welcome. I'm Melinda Akinlami.
Our wordsmith this week has this poetry, which he calls Sneeze.
It was an August occasion. We had gathered at the center of the square. Generation upon generation has also had their time here. From every cranny of the village, the assemblage glitters like diamond. But somehow, the atmosphere was thick, gloomy face besieged and pervades. Ominous cloud enshrined happiness, the usual felicitation rushed not out. Murmuring soliloquy runs, then someone sneezes and coughed. Like bats out of hell, all dispersed in different directions, screaming a certain name foreign to our village ears. The said name kills in thousands, maddens the whole human race, but my village is calm or ignorant. Life goes on unperturbed. But this filtered news is scary. I live by the riverside. I will bathe every minute that this pandemic will follow the river to the unknown sky. Soon we will sneeze and receive empathy and blessings once again.
There is no problem in this world that cannot be solved. Build up your faith while starving the fears.
This solo exhibition by a contemporary artist is called Icing on Burnt Cake, a tribute to his teacher, veteran artist El Anasui at the Third Pyramid Art Center in Lagos.
He's a veteran artist who has spent most of the active years of his career in Nigeria and has caught the eye of the international community for his iconic bottle-top installations. But that's not present in this show because it's not by him, but for him.
Icing on burnt cake is a metaphor. It's a poetic way of telling the Nigerian story, telling the African story, where ugliness are buried behind beauties, where fantasies are buried behind ugliness. So I'm using icing on burnt cake as a way of representing the way the social, the political life of Nigeria and the Africa in at large camouflaged with beauties and fantasies.
His works are unique. A lot of persons have done this kind of painting or sculpture pieces, but they've not done it in this manner. Now, what I'm seeing is a sculpture painting. I don't know whether they have that definition when you talk about sub-disciplines of the visual art. This is a normal sculpture pieces pioneered by Professor El Anasui, to whom this exhibition is dedicated. He's doing this exhibition in his honor. And it's usually panels, separated panels joined together in what we call installation, format. But none has been able to add garnishing, like he said, icing on burnt cake. No one has been able, from my own knowledge, been able to add the type of icing and garnishing and embellishment on this genre of sculpture piece in order to arrive at what we are seeing today. On first impression, you would think he painted them. At a point, when this kind of art started, people were adding colors, painting the paste on spots and so on. Some people try to introduce painting, but now you can see that it's not painting, it's more than painting, using painted material and source color. So it's sculpture, but the painting component of it has given it another level of sculpture piece beyond what we know. In fact, it belongs to what I call the El Anachi School of Art in Nigeria, and to me, is a foremost student of that school of art. Is the leading person, leading exponent in the group, by virtue of what I've seen.
Contemporary artist Eramus Onyishi is the one doing this solo show at the Thought Pyramid Art Center in Lagos to celebrate veteran Ghanaian artist.
Professor L inspired me because he brought me here as a first-year student, this same Norman Williams, to exhibit in the My Dream Gallery in the year 2001 as a first-year student then. So first of my inspiration come from him because he has been a mentor. He has been mentoring and inspiring us. Then too, another thing that inspired me a lot is poetry. Poetry, I like listening to words. Like William Wordsworth said, that poems are emotions collected in tranquility or expression of one's innermost feelings. So I like using my work as tactile poetry, poetry that can be felt, poetry that can be seen, visual poetry.
From the works displayed, there's been an influence from one generation to the next. It's revealed in the style and the direction his works of art has taken.
One of them is titled Stitches and Bandages. Ola Oloide says that an artist is a surgeon. He cuts through the flesh of a sick society using sympathetic instruments, thereby correcting those ills that are repugnant to human existence. So an artist is some sort of a social doctor. So I'm using stitches and bandages as a way of telling the pains. The society is so injured that as an artist, I wish to sew that pain together, thereby using my art to ameliorate the situation of the society.
Sincerely, this is the first time I'm entering a gallery like this. And sincerely, I'm very, very amazed. This is a very, very good work. I love it. I think I've went around both the upstairs and the gallery and the dance floor. I'm very, very impressed. I'm very, very impressed. I feel like taking the whole thing to my house, just for you to know how much I'm happy about it.
I imagine after sweeping a house, there are pieces of broom all over. So that is effort in futility. If they think about the change mantra in Nigeria, for instance, we're meant to sweep the blemishes in the society. But can a dirty individual sweep? Do you understand? You cannot be dirty and still be, trying to force cleanliness on the polity. So I'm using that work, as a social commentary. So what is it, to comment on what is happening in Nigeria.
Just like his mentor, Erasmus's pieces are also life-sized, and the materials he uses are a combination of different objects.
I work with pyrography. I work through the process called pyrography, like charring of wood. I work through spring position of forms on wood. And I also do a lot of incising to create impressive and poetic intaglios and cameos on wood.
His works are outstanding and highly creative. A manifestation of his sound tutelage.
Right from the time I knew him, he has been a very wonderful artist. He's creative. I like his level of conceptualization. When he thinks about an idea and presents it, it is always very catchy, attention-sustaining, and philosophically laden with ideas that will help the art, industry.
Richard Ntiro, in his poem introduction, says that the society is like a market stall. Men are goods on display, where the label is more important than the labeled, and the price more fascinating than the value. I'm trying to send a message that the content should be like the container. So it shouldn't be icing burnt cake. It's like having a tomb with a rotten body, and the tomb is embellished. So the content should be like the container. That's the message.
This is a one-of-a-kind type of show, and to see this sort of appreciation shows that El Anatsui has already left his footprints in the sands of time.
While that artist is saluting Amantha, others on our various social media platforms are practicing art for change as they talk about a word which has been on everyone's lips recently. COVID-19. That's what has inspired artists to create these works of art sent in this week. Have you washed your hands? That's the question this artist is asking with this pencil drawing. He feels hygiene is really important and encourages people to wash their hands with soap and water or use an alcohol-based sanitizer. Then Olamide Nelson is mimicking the pathogen. He's saying that people should stay safe and is being sarcastic with his work of art. No sarcasm here, as this artist is asking everyone to pray. He says, "We raise our hands and our souls cry out for your saving hand. Strength is almost gone and God is our last hope. We need him, especially now." It's done on paper collage. Femi is a bit stunned with the virus, and he calls this beyond belief. It's a ballpoint pen on paperwork. He says the COVID-19 is still sinking in. While Anthony Uzowane is looking at it from a different perspective, those that have lost loved ones through this pandemic, in this pencil drawing, he calls this one orphans. Daniel Akinshola is saying, "It's time to stay home and stay safe." He calls this work Pose. It's done with pen on paper. While Damilola Olusegun is saying that a hug from a friend can mean pain, especially at this time, he illustrates this with charcoal and graphite on paper. And those are the works of art you sent in this week. Thank you so much for sending them in, and we do encourage you to keep being creative and think out of the box. Coming up in a moment, we look at a different type of theatre that mirrors real-life experiences. When we return, stay with us.